So this is great. This is a really serious thing, but it also includes a really funny clip. There was a debate audience that broke out in an uncontrollable fit of laughter when a Republican Senate candidate tried to claim that Donald Trump has been, quote, standing up to Russia, which of course he hasn't been doing. He's been doing the opposite of that. I'm going to play the clip for you. And this is part of the sort of Orwellian newspeak where they have straight up started to say the opposite of what is going on. And this is now leaking over to Senate candidates who are Trumpists, including Republican Senate nominee Corey Stewart, who's running in Virginia against incumbent Democratic Senator Tim Kaine. And Tim Kaine, of course, during the debate, he talked about Russian aggression during the 2016 election, undeniable at this point. He talked about Russian aggression during Barack Obama's presidency, including the invasion of Crimea, downing an aircraft over Ukraine. Here is how Corey Stewart responded. And of course, laughter from both the audience and Tim Kaine in response.
He was noticeably silent when the Russians shot down a Malaysian airliner when President Obama was in office. He was noticeably silent when the Russians invaded the Crimea when President Obama was in office. We have a president who is standing up to the Russians. And now, Senator Kaine, now we have Senator Kaine.
I actually think that a straight up uncontrolled fit of laughter is a pretty damn good way to challenge these types of nonsense claims. It's actually kind of powerful. Imagine if when candidates say such ridiculous things, instead of trying to fight it point by point when they've thrown out 10 lies in a minute and convince people, which you won't be able to do, right? If the entire room simply starts laughing hysterically at the obvious lies and then you just move on, it starts to take on an air of this childish ignorance from these people is so dumb and so inaccurate that it's actually funny. It doesn't even require a response. And this is not normally my view, right? My view is ad hominems aren't arguments, and you need to take the arguments on at their core. But when the arguments are not even based in fact, and this is something that over the weekend, a number of interesting articles were written in the context of Holocaust denial and how Holocaust denial should be managed on online forums, because you're fundamentally not going to be able to actually fight it with facts because the people who are committed to Holocaust denial are not going to be influenced by facts. What about just laughing? And if they can say it themselves, right, something like Trump is tough on Russia without cringing or getting red in the face, how are you going to convince them that they're just simply wrong? So maybe you do laugh off the entire thing because it's an utterly condescending way that could actually show that there's a total absence of logic and rationality. Laughter and ridicule as the tactic instead of logic and rationality. And these types of administration officials and candidates, they aren't based in logic and they're not based in rationality. So you can't use those tools against them. They care about looking tough and acting tough and imposing their view on others and imposing their inaccurate views on others. So maybe just by laughing at them, you make them look silly and their ideas hopefully go nowhere. Send me your thoughts about the laughter technique. And do you think that it would be effective, not in changing their minds? Their minds aren't going to be changed, but in exposing the lack of believability about the nonsense that they're spewing to others, to people in the crowd, to people who watch this stuff on TV. Send me your thoughts about that.